Good evening. I would like to call to order the regular city commission meeting. This is the 12th day of May, 2025 at 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Commissioner Dollison.
Here.
Commissioner Mercer.
Here.
Commissioner Dantzler.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Yates.
Here.
And Mayor Birdsong.
Here. We will have an invocation by Pastor Cesar Perez of the Good Samaritan Christian Church of Winter Haven, and we will be led in the pledge by Vanessa Castillo, MMC City Clerk. Please stand if able.
Almighty God and Lord Jesus Christ, we come before you this evening as one people with hearts full of joy because of your majesty and grace. We recognize you today as our creator, the creator of all things, as the Lord and God of this city and the savior of our souls. Today we come boldly before you, recognizing that we need your forgiveness for our sins. The city of Winter Haven needs your presence to guide us and to keep us safe. Holy Spirit, we ask humbly that you guide this city of Winter Haven, that you may guide this body of commissioners and staff. May you illuminate their minds to bring righteous decisions to this city. May they always operate in your light and truth in every choice they make for this city. Keep this city filled with joy and freedom. We pray that any problem areas in this city may become a place of goodness by the power of your Spirit, and every dark place be turned into a place where your light shines. We pray for our first responders. Keep them safe and their families safe. Bring righteous education to every school. Keep every child safe. We pray for every city employee, every business owner. Prosper everyone. Bring more businesses to our city. Expand our city in every way, financially and spiritually. We pray all these things in the precious name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner, please join me.
Evening, Mayor and Commissioners. We have, I believe, 4 presentations this evening that we will share with you. And I'm going to ask Deputy City Manager MJ Carnevale to read into the record our proclamation for National Public Works Week, and ask Public Works Director Brittany Hart and members of her team to come to the podium to accept.
Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure and services that are of a vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities, and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of people of Winter Haven. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals from state and local governments and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, solid waste, natural resources, stormwater utilities, fleet, and other infrastructure essential for our citizens. Whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Winter Haven to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the American Public Works Association has celebrated the annual National Public Works Week since 1960, and 2025 marks the 65th celebration. Now, therefore, Nathaniel J. Birdsong, Jr., Mayor of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, does hereby proclaim May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week in the City of Winter Haven, and urges all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our health, safety, and quality of life. In witness whereof, he is hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, to be affixed this 12th day of May, 2025. Nathaniel J. Birdsong, Jr., Mayor, attests Vanessa Castillo.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. We would like to thank the Commission for recognizing our incredible Public Works team during the National Public Works Week. This year, the APWA's theme is People, Purpose, and Progress, which speaks to why we do what we do to meet the needs of our community and make the lives of everybody who works, lives, and plays here better. From all of our team, from the men and women who pick up our solid waste, who keep our roads drivable, the stormwater systems flowing, and our fleet rolling, this team shows up every day, usually behind the scenes, to make sure that things just work. Most people, I say this often, don't think about public works until it's not happening. I'm so proud of this team and so thankful for the work that they do. And next week, we will celebrate by highlighting what Public Works really is on social media. We will be reading to the Little Sprouts at the library, some Public Works books, and making sure our team knows how appreciated they are with special gifts and a lunch. So thank you for recognizing them during Public Works Week. We appreciate all of your support.
Take his house off the garbage collection. That was Dustin.
Got a whole crew of them.
That woman there looks reminds me of Joy Tennant. She does kind of.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Congratulations. Mayor and Commissioners, our second proclamation this evening is in recognition of Police Week, and I would like for our Assistant City Manager, Charlie Bird, to present this proclamation this evening.
Honorable Mayor and Commissioners, whereas law enforcement agencies play an essential role in safeguarding, hold on, they're a little slow. They're a little slower than Public Works.
I feel safe.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
This is the place I want to be, right about, in case anything happens.
More missions I need.
Ready now?
Correct.
All right, we'll go at this again. Whereas law enforcement agencies play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms which have been guaranteed by the United States Constitution to every American citizen. And whereas it is important that people throughout our community know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of law enforcement agencies, and that members recognize their duty to serve the people of the community by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas law enforcement agencies unceasingly provide a vital public service, and whereas the City Commission has designated the week of May 11th through the 17th, 2025, as Police Week in recognition of the contribution law enforcement officers have made to our civilization through their dedicated and selfless efforts in enforcing our laws. It is also designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of the federal, state, and municipal peace officers who have been killed or disabled in the line of duty. Now, therefore, I, Nathaniel J. Birdsong, Jr., Mayor of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, do hereby proclaim May 11th through May 17th, 2025 as Police Week in the City of Winter Haven, and call upon our citizens to join in commemorating police officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to this community. In so doing, they have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. In witness whereof, he has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, to be affixed this 12th day of May, 2025.
Mayor, Commissioners, and members of the community, first and foremost, it is an honor to be your police chief and to serve with these men and women behind me. On behalf of the men and women of the Winter Haven Police Department, I want to sincerely thank you for this proclamation. Your recognition today means a great deal to all of us who wear the badge and serve this incredible city. We are proud to say that through strong partnerships with each of you on this dais and with our community members, Winter Haven continues to be one of the safest cities in Florida. Our historically low crime rate of 1.71 is the direct result of that collaboration. And it is a reflection of what we can accomplish when we, with trust, transparency, and teamwork, come together. This proclamation reminds us that we are not in this alone. We are grateful for your leadership, your support, and your confidence in the work we do each and every day. Thank you for allowing us the honor to serve and protect and grow with the city of Winter Haven. You guys will hear from me enough throughout the year, so I have brought some members here that want to speak for the department.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm a little bit smaller. I just want to take a very short moment just to thank you and to express my gratitude and appreciation for this recognition. I can't be more proud to be working not just for the police department and with this wonderful, amazing people behind me, but also to be part of the city of Winter Haven. Thank you again for this recognition.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you. I'm very appreciative. We are very appreciative to be able to receive this great recognition here tonight. So thank you. We take so much pride in being able to serve this community each and every day. So to be able to receive this recognition is just a fantastic thing. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening to the mayor and commissioners. I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. The work that we do obviously impacts the community as a whole. More specifically, the unit that I'm in the Investigative Services Bureau, the victims that we have, the victims that we deal with oftentimes have no voice. Either they're afraid to speak or because of the nature of the case, they cannot speak anymore. And we have to advocate on their behalf. But we can't do that if we don't have the resources and tools afforded to us by the commission. So on behalf of those who cannot speak or are afraid to speak, thank you. I appreciate it.
Once again, thank you very much for your support, and hope to see great things out of these young men and women behind me. Thank you.
It's y'all's done. Way to go, bud.
I got you. All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. One more. Perfect.
Mayor and Commissioners, as the police officers are making their way back to their seats, just wanted to share with you. Oh, you still have more. You got to stay. You have to stay. You have to stay. But we had a chance to visit the memorial in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. And where's Shaq at? Shaq's in the back. You may recall when we went to visit the digital memorials for the officers, there were 3 officers current officers whose testimonies and tributes were on those. And Mr. Haynes was one of those who happened to be just serendipitously displayed at the time that we had a chance to visit that. So appreciate all the work that they do. And certainly this is an impactful week in law enforcement as they have that ceremony remembering fallen officers this Thursday. That'll take place in Washington, D.C. Item 5C is another special presentation. This is the presentation of the International Institute of Municipal Clerks, the IIMC, Certified Municipal Clerk Designation Plaque and Pin to our very own Deputy City Clerk and City Historian, LaTanya Harris. And we have the privilege of having with us this evening Ms. Dawn Wright with the City of Eagle Lake and the Florida Association of City Clerks. She is the Central West Director. I understand we have a number of other city clerks in the building as well as our very own Master Municipal Clerk, Vanessa Castillo. So Dawn, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Well, it's a with great pleasure that I appear here this evening to congratulate your city on the recent accomplishments of LaTanya Harris upon receiving her certified municipal clerk designation. LaTanya began her career in local government in 2005 when she became the records clerk for the police department. In 2007, LaTanya was promoted to records clerk supervisor and served in this capacity for 16 years. In July of 2022, LaTanya became the deputy city clerk, city historian, and archivist. She's a member of the Florida Association of City Clerks, International Institute of Municipal Clerks, and the Polk County City Clerks Association since 2022. In addition to being involved in her local clerks association, LaTanya serves on the FACC membership committee and recently was accepted to serve on the IIMC Research and Resource Committee. The International Institute of Municipal Clerks and its partner, the Florida Association of City Clerks, are professional associations that promote continuing education and certification through university and college-based institutes. IIMC's primary goal is to actively promote the continuing education and professional development of municipal clerks through extensive education programs, certification, publications, networking across the globe, annual conferences, and research. FACC's primary goal is to actively promote the continuing education and professional development of municipal clerks in the state of Florida by partnering with the Florida League of Cities and the Florida Institute of Government to meet the ever-changing educational needs of city and town clerks to improve their knowledge in such areas as public administration, law, management, elections, and many other disciplines. Currently, only 234 of the 667 FACC members have attained their certified municipal clerk designation. To achieve the certified municipal clerk designation, LaTanya has gone through and completed the International Institute of Municipal Clerks approved Municipal Clerk Institute program conducted by the John Scott Daly Institute of Government through the Florida State University in Tallahassee. This program provides 110 student instructor contact hours of in-depth courses in managerial and leadership skills, social and interpersonal concerns, and technical training needed to deal with the changes taking place in government today. The program aids municipal clerks in improving job performance and recognizes the professionalism of the municipal clerk's office. Completion of the recognized Career Development Academy, along with experience in local government and participation in conferences, meetings, and educational seminars are required to earn this prestigious certified municipal clerk designation. LaTanya is now part of an elite group of professionals in local government, a group she could not have become part of without your commitment to support her efforts. LaTanya, display your plaque and wear your pin with pride as an example of your dedication and professionalism. On behalf of the Florida Association of City Clerks President, the Board of Directors, its members, and the Central West District, congratulations on becoming our newest certified municipal clerk.
Thank you, everybody. Y'all gonna make me cry. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Honorable City Commissioners. I am truly humbled and honored to receive my certified municipal clerk certification and pin upon tonight. As Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. This certification will equip me to contribute greatly and make a positive impact in the clerk's profession and in the city of Winter Haven. I would love to take a moment, if you will, to express my deepest gratitude to you all. To the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Commission, thank you for your support. To the city clerk, Vanessa, city managers, deputy city manager, and city attorney, thank you so much for the opportunities, motivation, care, and support you have provided to me. I appreciate the push and the motivation that I receive from each and every one of you. To my city team members, I appreciate all of you who contributed and donated to my FACC third class project, Christmas in July toy drive. Thank you so much for the part you also played in my journey. To my husband, my children, my family, and my friends, some of you who are in the audience tonight, thank you so much for your unwavering love, encouragement, understanding, and support you unselfishly give to me each and every day. You have indeed been my walk, and I am so grateful for each one of you. To Don Wright, FACC, and IIMC, thank you. Thank you for being valuable, for being a valuable professional resource of education and networking for municipal clerks. I am so honored to be a member of both associations and have the opportunity to serve on various boards and committees committed to the betterment of our profession. And to my fellow city and deputy city clerks who came out tonight, I am truly grateful for each and every one of you, always willing to share your knowledge and assist me in any way that you can. I consider it a privilege to be a colleague, and I thank you for taking your time out of your evening to come and help recognize this milestone with me. I am excited on this journey, and I'm excited to continue this journey in obtaining my MMC and any other accreditations or certifications that I can receive along this journey. I look forward to what's ahead. I look forward to serving the city of Winter Haven proudly. Thank you again to everyone. I am extremely grateful. Thank you.
And if any of the other clerks want to join them for a photo. Just throw it on the floor.
You ready? All right, right here on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Congratulations. One more. One more, Brian. Commissioners, we have one more presentation at the podium, and then we'll have a presentation from our airport staff. But again, congratulations to LaTanya. She is embodying the achievement of one of our strategic objectives as outlined in your 5-year plan, and that is Objective 5.4.4, which is to achieve and maintain department to individual level accreditation, certification, and standards across the organization. As you know, we just did Public Works Month earlier this evening, or Public Works Week, I should say. That team just recently received their national accreditation. We certainly have had accreditation for a number of years within our police department. Your Parks and Recreation Department and fire departments are both working on their national accreditations as well. I wanted to share with you this evening an accreditation that has also happened, although not necessarily designated as an accreditation, but as a certificate of excellence. This is through the Florida Municipal Communicators Association. They have a certificate of excellence in government communications under the leadership of our director, Katrina Hill, and her team. They took this upon themselves to pursue this. In order to meet that recognition, they met, there's a number, I think there's 14 criteria that you have to meet, or that are outlined. You have to meet 10 of them in order to receive your accreditation or your certificate of excellence. They met 12 of the 14 and are presently engaged in hitting the final 2. So they will have checked the box on all of these. Some of those requirements that they have met thus far: adherence to the FMCA ethics for municipal communicators, the commitment to the FMC Pledge of Excellence, more than one staff member as a member of the Florida Municipal Communicators Association, having a mobile responsive website, having an app or reporting app, which in our case is the Access Winter Haven platform, having at least one full-time communications professional employed, conducting an annual State of the City program, establishing outreach programs to communicate the city into the greater community, and certainly our City U program is a phenomenal example of that. Citizen outreach and educational materials that are offered in more than one language. Ours, of course, we have a responsive website that you can do in, I believe, 70 different languages. The most frequently used are our Spanish and Haitian Creole materials. The promotion of Florida City Government Week, which our Hands on Haven program and City Government Week campaigns qualified for. Our maintenance of communications and networks with our local media, and established brand guidelines, which we have had in place for over a year now. It's absolutely wonderful to be able to have an organization that has exceptional leadership in these various areas, and that trickles all the way down through the frontline employees. And I just want to take a moment to congratulate Katrina Hill and the members of her team that are here this evening and offer them a chance to give comment.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, T. Michael and Commission, for recognizing this tonight. The Certificate of Excellence from the Florida Municipal Communicators Association is a reflection of the standards that we as a team hold ourselves to every day. It recognizes that Winter Haven is committed to transparent, professional, and accessible communication within the community. It's a third-party validation tool that helps us hold us accountable to doing the work, not just in the spotlight, but also behind the scenes, to help residents understand how their local government operates and how they can be a part of it. In addition to the certificate, we were also honored with a few program awards this year as well. We received the top honor in the category of Best Use of a Specialty Item, which we will give one of those items to each of you tonight. And that was for the yo-yos that we first started incorporating at Hands on Haven. And also Best Collaborative Video Production, which was our public safety recruitment video that we produced in partnership with Black Oak Creative. And finally, we received honorable mention for our website, which we continue to enhance to better serve the community. So I want to give a heartfelt thank you to my team. Tashana, Maggie, and Heather are here tonight, and you heard from Kevin last week. He's only not here because he's starting like crack of dawn tomorrow morning on a video production with our water treatment plants. But team, the creative strategy and care you each bring to this work make all the difference, and you make our city story stronger every day. So thank you. And to the commission, thank you for your ongoing support of me and our team. We're proud to do this work, and we're even prouder to do it on behalf of a city that we believe in. So thank you.
You cannot play with those during the meeting. He's the biggest yo-yo of all. Congratulations. Commissioners, at this time, I'd like to bring to the podium for a presentation to you all our Airport Director, Mr. Troy Heidel, and our Airport Operations Supervisor, Mr. Colin Davis. I believe this is Colin's first presentation to the City Commission, so fresh meat up there to take aim upon. But this is just an update, post recap of Sun and Fun 2025 from our airport team.
All right, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Just look quick, I told Colin that he had to push the green button after every paragraph, but unfortunately he didn't fall for it. But it's an honor and a privilege to stand before you tonight and introduce Mr. Colin Davis. Colin has been serving as the Airport Operations Supervisor for a little over a year and a half now and has done an absolute phenomenal job in leading the front house staff and ensuring our safe operations every day at the airport. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Colin Davis, and he's going to give you our Sun and Fun 2025 update.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. My name is Colin Davis. As Troy said, I'm the Airport Operations Supervisor. I've been here for about 1.5 years, and I'm excited to talk about this year's Sun and Fun recap. So without further ado, we'll talk about some of the adjusted operations we do for the week, and then some of the groups that we saw, and then some of our statistics, talking about revenue and operations for the week. So for the week of Sun and Fun, we have adjusted operations for both our dealing with pilots and dealing with our staff internally. So the first major difference that I'm going to go over is our Winter Haven Tower. So we actually have a contracted controllers come out for the week to help control our airspace. We see a massive influx over the week in operations. We see about the operations we'd see in a month in just that week. So we have controllers out here to help prevent any mid-air collisions and keep the airfield as safe as possible. To help our controllers and our pilots on the ground when people land, we have flagged carts. So we rent out a couple golf carts, and with our current golf carts, we mount flags on top of them. You can see in the top slide. And we help personally park each aircraft to make sure that there's no confusion, no one gets lost, and everyone's able to get safely to our terminal building. Next up is an overview of our field. So I mentioned that we have our flagged carts help escort the pilots and aircraft to their individual parking spot. Well, our asphalt actually can't handle the influx of traffic that we have. So we designate 2 grass parking areas. You can see outlined in red on that map. Now, we do run into a small problem with parking the people on the south side over in that red grass to your right, as they can't walk to the terminal or be golf carts at the terminal. So we rent out shuttle vans. We have 2 for the week. One follows that blue route around our airfield along 21st Street to escort pilots safely from their airport or from their aircraft over to our main terminal building to check in, to limit our runway crossings and keep our runways clear and free for aircraft as possible. The other one runs directly to and fro Lakeland Linder International for the actual Sun and Fun air show. So we make Winter Haven kind of a one-stop shop for all transient traffic. And lastly, the large yellow line you see on there is our crosswind runway, runways 11 and 29. So we close down that runway for the week to help mitigate any crosswind traffic or anyone that doesn't talk with tower and tries to come in landing the other way, just to help make things easier for our seaplane base located next to us, Jack Brown's, alongside our controllers that are landing the influx of traffic for the week. So some of our groups that we received. So the Cardinals were here again, just like last year and every year prior. So they're a group of individuals that all own the same make and model of aircraft, Cessna 177 Cardinal. Beautiful aircraft, and we saw about 28 of them this year. So they mostly dominated our South Sod area. Our second group were the Warbirds. So if you made it out to Sun Fun this year, you probably saw them along the military show, and you probably saw them in the air for a small time. They come here and visit us in Winter Haven for their pre-brief and lunch at our Flightline Cafe. And lastly was our general traffic. So you can see in that bottom left picture, we have our grass field completely full. If you look really close, you can see some pavement on the left. So our north side was completely full this year. We saw more aircraft this year than last year, and it was overall a good year for general traffic. And you can see some of our numbers here. So on the left, you've got some photos of Mario and Bobby, some of our line techs fueling up a private jet that was with us for the week, and some of the Warbirds. And on the right is some of our statistics for the year. So overall, our gallons of fuel sold was roughly the same as last year, but we saw an influx of tied-down aircraft over the year alongside our total revenue, especially from ramp fees, which seemed strange to us after the fact, as it felt like one of our quietest years ever. But it just so happened that we didn't have as much weather this year, and it was all evenly displayed across the week. And that's about all I've got for our airport this year. Any questions or comments?
Any questions? All right. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Great job.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Commission.
All right. So that's all of our presentations. We have no developments of note. Commissioners, we have the minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve the April 23rd City Commission Agenda Review Minutes, as well as the April 28th regular City Commission meeting minutes.
Thank you. Our closed commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to these minutes may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, open the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Aye, opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, the minutes are adopted. Okay, we have no one that signed up to address the commission. We have no ordinances, second reading. Consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve one item on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to the consent agenda may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, the consent agenda is adopted. Resolution R-2519, would you read by title only? City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number R-25-19, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, approving a public transportation grant agreement between the City of Winter Haven and Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, under contract number G3B00 and financial project number 4537891-94-01 for updating the master plan at the Winter Haven Regional Airport, Gilbert Field, and authorizing the city manager and appropriate city officials to execute said agreement and to take all other necessary actions regarding said project and agreements related thereto, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything changed since the agenda review?
No, sir. Just a reminder, this is a update to the airport master plan. Total project costs $592,000. The bulk of that, 90% or $532,800, comes to us via a grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. 5% will come from the Florida Department of Transportation in the amount of $29,600, and 5% will be the city's obligation, again, in $29,600. Staff recommends City Commission approve Resolution R-2519 and authorize city manager or designee to execute the subject grant agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation, grant number G3B00, and take all other necessary actions incidental to the implementation of same. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
motion to approve Resolution R-2519.
thank you. I'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to R-2519 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, R-2519 is adopted. Resolution R-2521, would you read by title only? City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number R-25-21, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, approving an amendment to that public transportation grant agreement between the City of Winter Haven and the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, under contract number G2H30 and financial project number 452131-2 for an extension of the Airport Digital Remote Traffic Tower Public Transportation Grant Agreement at the Winter Haven Regional Airport, Gilbert Field, and authorizing the city manager and appropriate city officials to execute said amendment and to take all of the necessary actions regarding said project and agreement and amendment related thereto, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager, any changes?
No, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. This simply extends the existing public transportation grant agreement with DOT, changing the expiration date from June 30th of 2025 to now being December 31st of 2026. There is no financial impact. Staff recommends the commission approve Resolution R-25-21 and authorize city manager or designee to execute the subject grant agreement extension with the Florida Department of Transportation, grant number G2H30, and take all other necessary actions incidental to the implementation of same. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
motion to approve Resolution R-25-21.
thank you. I will close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to Resolution R-25-21 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposes by the same sign. Hearing none, Resolution R-25-21 is adopted. Resolution R-25-22, would you read by title only? City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-25-22, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, renaming Coon Lake Road, which runs between Eloise Loop Road / Thompson Nursery Road on the north / east to County Road 653 on the south - west, and generally lying in the north half of the southwest quarter of Section 13, Township 29 South, Range 26 East, Polk County, Florida, to Lake Ruby Drive West, making findings, providing for severability, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. Any changes, City Manager?
Mr. Mayor, no changes. Again, this is just the renaming of Coon Lake Road to Lake Ruby Drive West. There are no properties that are impacted by this that have been developed at this point, and staff will work with the E911 agency to do all the notifications if so approved by the City Commission this evening. Staff does recommend the City Commission approve Resolution R25-22. Thank you.
All right, Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve Resolution R2522.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to Resolution R-25-22 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none. Resolution R-25-22 is adopted. Resolution R-25-23, which read by title only. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-25-23, a resolution confirming the acceptance of improvements, infrastructure, and dedications in favor of the public/City of Winter Haven as notated on that certain plat entitled Harmony on Lake Eloise Phase 4, recorded in the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court in Fort Polk County, Florida, in Plat Book 211, pages 42 through 49, Public Records of Polk County, Florida, and authorizing the city manager to release the performance bond posted to guarantee completion of required improvements and infrastructure. General location: subdivision is generally located west of West Lake Eloise Drive, south of Shell Road. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager, any changes?
No, sir. This is the request from Four Star Real Estate Group. It pertains to a 57.25 acre subdivision. It contains 322 building lots and 12 common lots. Four Star did submit to the city a performance bond in the amount of $1.983 million to guarantee completion of required infrastructure. Staff has reviewed all of the work there and is now ready to accept that. Staff recommends City Commission approve Resolution R-25-23 and authorize city manager or designee to take all further necessary actions related to this matter.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor, motion to approve Resolution R-2523.
Thank you. I will close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to Resolution R-25-23 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, Resolution R-25-23 is adopted. Resolution R-25-24, would you read by title only? City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-25-24, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, renaming Pomelo Lane, located in the Harmony on Lake Eloise Phase 2 subdivision, as recorded in Plat Book 205, pages 26 through 32 of the Public Records of Polk County, Florida, to Pomelo Drive, making findings, providing for severability, repeal of conflicting resolutions, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager, any changes?
No, sir. This is a request again from Roger Lee Vonnecker of Four Star Real Estate Group to rename the road as presented by the city attorney. If this is approved by the City Commission, the Polk County E911 addressing office will notify the affected emergency response agencies and others regarding that name change. Any of the costs that would be associated with signage related to this change would be borne by the Harmony on Lake Eloise Community Development District. There's no financial impact to the city. Staff recommends City Commission approve Resolution R-25-24 and authorize city manager or designee to take all necessary actions related to this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve Resolution R-25-24.
Thank you. I will close the City Commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to Resolution R-25-24 may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, Resolution R-25-24 is adopted. Resolution R-25-25, would you read by title only? City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-25-25, a resolution approving that certain plat entitled Shops at Country Club for filing in accordance with Chapter 177 Florida statutes with specific conditions, providing for the correction of scrivener's errors and establishing an effective date. General location subdivision is generally located at the northeast corner of Dundee Road, State Road 542, and Country Club Road. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager, any changes?
No, sir. This is for the Shops at CC LLC and their request for final plat approval of the Shops at Country Club. It's a 34.9 acre subdivision that contains 7 lots. This was developed according to the requirements contained in PUD or Planned Unit Development Ordinance 023-29. Staff recommends the City Commission approve Resolution R-25-25. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve resolution R-25-25.
Thank you. I'll close the commission meeting, open public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to Resolution R-25-25 may do so at this time. Close the public hearing, reopen the City Commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, Resolution R-25-25 is adopted. We have no ordinances, first reading. We have a new business item. City Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is for the approval of design and permitting proposal, contract, and guaranteed maximum price for the design of the redevelopment of the old fire station number 1. This was awarded to Whitehead Construction via RFQ 2438. As we discussed in our agenda review last Wednesday, the intent is to renovate the former fire station due north of where we are today for the purposes of utilization by our building division. We did contract with Whitehead through a competitive RFQ process, and that was approved by the commission January 27th, 2025. They have submitted to us our contract that we use for design build purposes is now included with this document, and the guaranteed maximum price for the design and permitting phase of this effort is $355,930. Once they go through that process and they have the actual construction cost, that will be brought back to you in the form of an amendment to the guaranteed maximum price. We have set aside from within the building division a total of $7 million to account for future needs of the building division. So that would include this project, as well as I mentioned, we'll eventually be looking for a satellite office in the southeast portion of our community going forward. So the money is set aside for this. We do not expect that this will cost anywhere near $7 million. It's probably closer to the $3 million in terms of total renovation, depending upon what all they get into once they get into that building. Again, that GMP will come back to you. So staff recommends City Commission approve the design phase proposal, the contract, and guaranteed maximum price in the amount of $355,930, and authorize city manager or designee to take all necessary actions and incidental thereto. And I believe Mr. Wayne Mullen with Whitehead Construction is here this evening and certainly would be able to answer any questions you may have. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Oh, we don't need a motion.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we do need a motion.
Yes.
Sorry. Mr. Mayor, motion to approve the approval of design permitting proposal, contract, and guaranteed maximum price for redevelopment of the old fire station number 1.
Thank you. I will now close the commission meeting and open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to new business item 13A may do so at this time. Seeing none, close the close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. 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 Opposed by the same sign, hearing none. New business item 13A is adopted. All right. Commission liaison reports. Commissioner Mercer.
I attended a Hope Vision. We attended it before, the Power of Hope and Healing. And this was like a subsection of that. It was mental health. And so they had a lot of people there. I guess a lot of displays on that. on the mental health issues, and they discussed some of the mental health issues that we have in the community. So, also attended First Missionary Baptist Church Heritage Day celebration, and I don't feel like I did very much, but I had 3 dental appointments the past 2 weeks. So that's all I have right now that I can think of. Anyway.
All right, Mr. Dazzler?
Yeah, Mother's Day luncheon at Neighborhood Service Center. I popped in and didn't get a chance to eat, but got to see everybody, and I just missed you, Mayor. I think you had just left, or you
I was
came-
there for the food.
Okay.
So you probably just ate.
Yeah, he just late left. Enjoyed Bark in the Park again this year. What a fun time. Well, I don't think I've ever been there when it hadn't been threatening to rain, except last year when it was during the daytime. But Bark in the Park is always fun and enjoyable and good time. I think everybody had there. Also went to Black Oak Creative like the rest of you and made my little video, but I was told that I did the best job by the girls over there, just so y'all know. So I'm probably going to get a little more FaceTime than the
Appreciate
rest
that.
of you.
They told me the same thing.
Really?
Because y'all went before I did.
Yeah. Got invited to go to Winter Haven High School and do a financial talk. There's this new rule now that's come out that everybody graduate high school has to have some financial literacy. So they're calling guys like me in my other life to go out and teach financial literacy to high school seniors, which was pretty cool. They were the what's the school in the school? What's it called?
Cambridge?
Cambridge, yeah, they're all Cambridge kids. So that was fun. Got to talk to them for quite a while. Also attended the Hartford Winter Haven Golf Tournament. Big, huge success that was. Went by the First Missionary Baptist Church and saw my friend, and at the downtown Heritage Day. What a lot of fun that was, and good crowd too, I thought. And the last thing I was going to mention, I mentioned to you guys last time that if you haven't been down to the Fieldhouse and Conference Center and take a walk around the lake and see what we've done with Lake Lulu, you need to do it. But you need to do the same thing with Harmony. I just drove around in Harmony recently, and I live out there, but that road that used to go in front of Valhalla, they put a new road in out there. They got all these lots everywhere. There's so much infrastructure that's been built out there, roads everywhere. When that place finally gets built out, there's going to be 1 million people out there. But we're geared for it because I was so impressed. And I guess we built that road, right?
They built it as part, we approved it as part of their development process
yeah.
along with the county. And, but it was built by the developer.
Well, I'm no road builder, but I can tell you, it doesn't look like they spared any expenses because everything out there to me looks first class. So if you guys are out in that area of town, it's worth taking a drive through there because it's pretty amazing what is happening out there at Harmony and Lake Eloise. So anyway, that's it for me.
All right. Commissioner Donaldson?
Mr. Mayor, good evening. I had the opportunity to attend the Planning Commission meeting as well as the Neighborhood Service Center. I got there early. I think I might have been the first one that got there. They were still painting when I got there, or starting to paint. And just a great time. A lot of people I know have known over the years. So it's just wonderful to see the center just packed with people. Certainly there is a great need for that in our community. Also was able to, I want to thank the city of Winter Haven on behalf of the First Missionary Baptist Church for partnering with us in the 30th Annual Heritage Day Festival, celebrating unity in our community. 30 years is a long time to embrace such a wonderful idea. And to the late Isla Frazier, who was one of the original architects of this festival. We certainly remember her in great fondness and appreciation. But the city has been a great partner with us over the years. Staff has worked just wonderfully with us, and we couldn't have a better partner in doing such a wonderful event. So again, thank you very much. Also, a trip to DC was a great honor and a privilege to just to be able to be a part of a wonderful group to advocate for the city of Winter Haven and to advocate at the highest level. I think when you go to that level, that is the highest level for us to speak our concerns and our issues and advocate for the things that we want to see happen or change that needs to be made in Winter Haven. It's just amazing to know that a city, we are the city of that caliber, and we have the staff of such a professional standard that would one plan to promote such a wonderful trip. And I was just happy to be a part of it and felt it a great privilege to do so. Also was able to participate in the annual Winter Haven High School Baccalaureate. It's held at the First Presbyterian Church. Dr. Nagley is a dear friend of mine and colleague. This year was amazing because we have seen a slide or a downturn in the baccalaureate participation. However, we've gone down in numbers, but this year, when the graduates started to come in, there was a designated place for them to sit. We filled that area and then had to go over into another area because we had over 87 students to come this year. So that was just great to see more interest in the high school baccalaureate. So was happy to be a part of that, and we hope to keep it going. That's it.
All right, I had a few things. I also attended the Washington, D.C. trip. And one of the highlights for me, I had never been to the Fallen Officers Memorial, where we actually got to see the name of our fallen officer, Officer Patterson's name listed on that wall with all of those names. And also got to tour the museum, and I'd never been in that museum before, and it was sort of really touching to go in there and see law enforcement over and through the years, and some of the tragedies that happened and some of the rescue operations. I mean, it was really sort of touching. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And as many times as I'd been to Washington, D.C., that was the first time that I had actually ever been able to visit that memorial. Attended the Mother's Day luncheon at the Neighborhood Service Center, and I don't know why y'all left so early, but I stayed late because food was excellent. Plus, I got actual to see some of the paintings that the senior citizens were doing. So they had an activity where they actually painted some paintings that looked really good. Oh, yeah? Yes. And in fact, I understand that at First Missionary Baptist, they did the same thing at the Mother's Day activity that men were barred from, but they did do it. So, but at any rate, thoroughly enjoyed that. Now, another highlight that I really love every year is Bark in the Park with those wiener dogs. I mean, you all have to be there to see it because those owners of those wiener dogs, they really want to get first place. And we have starting lines and finishing lines, and we have to tell them, you can't get ahead of the line. You can't get your dog before he crosses the line. You got to be. One year, we actually had to have a photo finish to decide. I'm serious, you all. We had to have a photo finish. I could not determine which dog had won without the photo finish. So it's dogs just took over the park. Dogs and strollers. I mean, I love it down there with the dogs. We just went to the dogs that day, but I loved it. And the weather held, and so it wasn't hot. It was really a really good day. Y'all can tell I like it. To judge
the wiener dog race. Those little wiener dogs are something else. I did the tape at Black Oaks. And I also went to Winter Haven High School for the first time and had the students to tape my congratulatory remarks that's going to be played at the graduation at the Civic Center for Lake Region and Winter Haven High School. So I thoroughly enjoyed that with the students actually, you know, prompting me and giving me instructions and saying, well, you didn't do this just right. You need to do that. So, but they were all students at Winter Haven High School that actually taped me. So with that, that's all I have. City Attorney.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I think Mayor Pro Tem might have something.
Oh, I miss you.
Skipped right over me.
I'm sorry, bro.
It's all right. You owe me. So I've got a few things tonight, but I've also got a few things that I apologize. I got to turn into Q&A session. So bear with me. One of which, let's just start with the DC trip. So that was just incredible for our leaders up there to make themselves available to us, to be a sympathetic ear and understanding ear as well in our meetings with them, to understand why it has taken so long to get a dedicated frequency out at the airport. It should be a simple task. So I guess my question is, the person that was most flamboyant from the meetings was Senator Scott. I was just wondering if we heard anything back from him just yet.
Not yet, but I can tell you that we've had some follow-up dialogue with, bear with me one second, Andy Mueller, who is the Director of Safety for the FAA. That was one of the individuals that General Palumbo had met with prior to us joining up with him at the FAA offices. He's given us a little bit of insights on some stuff that we're still chasing that path, but I've not heard anything back as of yet from Senator Scott's office. We will follow up with Jack Hitchcock, who was his, and I can remember that now because it's not Alfred Hitchcock. But we will follow up with him and see if we have any insights.
Thank you. Attended a downtown CRA meeting, attended the RLC board meeting last week. All right, so a couple more questions. So having lived on Lake Lulu, I understand very well what happens after a prolonged absence of rain, and then here comes the rain and that flushes out the overflow basins or just the amount of trash that flows out into the lake. It seemed like over the weekend there was an exorbitant amount of trash, more so than normal. Really shouldn't be any, but that's for up to every citizen and visitor of our area to not litter. That would help with that issue. But there seemed to be an exorbitant number of amount of trash between the Lake Ship and the Lake Lulu Canal. Just wondering, does the city have any responsibility of any of those catches there? Is something not working correctly, or if we've had an opportunity to look into that issue yet?
So thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for that question. And I'm glad you asked that, because that gives us a chance to give a little education on that whole process. And you hit it spot on. When you don't have rain, you have the collection of debris that accumulates. And in our case, we really haven't had any significant rainfall since probably early February. And so it's not just trash, but it's also lawn clippings and vegetative waste that gets blown into our catch basins, despite all of our street sweeping and everything else. And that will just end up sitting there. And then you get what we've had over the past 3 days. Actually, since I guess Thursday of last week, when the bottom began dropping out of that, it pushes all of that at one time in what we consider to be a giant flush. We have catch basins in a number of areas. Your stormwater parks are intended to serve that purpose first and foremost. So South Lake Howard Nature Park, Lake Hartridge Nature Park, at Lake Maud Nature Park, we have catch basins for that. Lake Conine, which we will have our dedication on tomorrow evening, again, intended to capture these massive watersheds and the amount of trash that collects within them. In the area that you're referring to on south side or the north side of Lake Lulu,
It'd be the west side.
right? But on the north side of Lake Lulu, there is also a baffle system that is in the road that is maintained by Polk County. We checked with them this afternoon to verify their maintenance routines of that. That is addressed on a monthly basis. Again, though, how much trash ends up getting into that at any given point, you're right. If we didn't have litter, we wouldn't have the problem. Where it falls out, the outfalls that are along the canal, one of those belongs to FDOT. So that's coming off of the overpass. The other one, I would expect there could be some debris that makes its way out to the lake with all of the cleanup that's happening on the south side of the lake, where we had a number of homeless encampments out there that we have been working with the county to address for the past few months. And I think possibly what may be happening there is we've gotten rid of some of the underbrush and the overgrowth there with all the wind that kicked up during those storms as well. You may have some of that debris that makes its way there as well. Our staff continues to, where we have that accumulated our outfalls, we're out there dip netting that and backing it out. We just did Project Eagle 3 weeks ago. I'm looking for Brittany. We've not gotten their collection numbers, but one of the things that we realize is maybe we need to do a little more frequent Project Eagle type work throughout the community and get our volunteers involved in that versus just doing that in alignment with Earth Day. City did clean it up Winter Haven about 3 weeks ago as well. We collected, Brittany, 30 some odd cubic yards of debris. Was it?
2.7 tons. We took 2 20-yard roll-offs.
2 20-yard roll-offs. That's probably the most we have ever filled. Now, that's a great accomplishment. So you did that. It's a terrible situation that we were able to do that. And I can tell you the police department, Charlie Bird and Vance and a whole group of folks worked specifically the overpass of US 17 in our direction because that collects a lot of litter along the fence line there. Charlie, what did we get? 30 bags of litter off of that overpass from the two sides of it alone. So there's a lot of litter out there. Despite our best efforts, we've not been able to move the needle on behavior with that, and certainly drought conditions add to it. Long answer, but I think it's important to share all that.
It is, and that's, if you could have a Project Eagle every weekend, 52 weeks out of the year, that would solve a lot, but it'd be a lot easier and less taxing on the taxpayer if people would just not litter. So it's unfortunate that happens. The question I've got on the FDOT catch basin, do we have permission to potentially go in there and clean that out at times, or is that solely relying upon the FDOT? Because I would imagine, being that it's a state catch basin, I'm taking a wild guess here, but I'm guessing nobody ever comes to clean that out.
Yeah, we can check into the frequency of that, but FDOT maintains those structures, and they usually contract that out, and you'll have a contractor that comes through regularly and cleans out all of the inlets that are theirs. I don't know the frequency of that offhand, though, but we can reach out to them and have that conversation.
It seems like it, and it's always this time of year where this is the worst, but potentially maybe we can look at, okay, we're in the dry season. We've got weather reports where the rain is going to start 2 weeks out or a week out. Maybe we can be proactive that, maybe kind of put into place a plan going forward that we can be more proactive rather than reactive when we're exiting the dry season, heading into the wet season. Just a thought.
I would say that the unfortunate side of that, we're going to have to be very reactive. Proactive side is the campaigning to prevent littering and as much roadway litter removal as we possibly can do. Once it's into outfall structures, your ability to access that, it's basically in the pipe and you're waiting for the water to push it all the way through. So it can be a sooner reactive perhaps. But we'll follow up with the DOT maintenance team and see what we can avail ourselves to.
Thank you. Next question is, the county is pending an ordinance, and I don't think that they've passed it just yet, but that is restricting areas of boat traffic on specifically Winterset and even a couple Auburndale lakes, but it's going to be impactful on our chain. So I just didn't know if that's going to rely solely upon the sheriff's department to maintain and monitor, but it's specifically where like the flotillas gather in Lake Winterset. They're creating a zones in those spots to prevent any kind of standing, partying, swimming from boats.
I'm not familiar with that ordinance, Mayor Pro Tem, but we will certainly get a copy of whatever's being proposed and report back on what the impacts may be. I would say that the enforcement of that, most of the enforcement that I'm familiar with in our lakes, and Charlie, certainly if you could weigh in otherwise, is done by the sheriff's office and their marine unit, as well as by FWC. Our involvement on the water is more so in a emergency response rescue level, but we can chase that down. That's the first I've heard of that ordinance.
Yeah, I had a citizen send me that just the other day, so I thought I'd bring
Is
it
there
up.
Is there a draft of it?
There is. I can
Okay,
send that
if you
to
could share that with us, I'd appreciate it.
Sure thing. Final thing I had was, looks like we may need another parade. We had a Winter Haven High School shot put state champion. We had a Winter Haven High School team barbecue state championship. We had a Winter Haven High School state tennis championship. And we almost went with a four-peat here with the beach volleyball team, who finished second, just 1 point away from a state championship for beach volleyball. So just throwing that out there, we may need to work on another parade for those guys, but Winter Haven High School is hitting on all cylinders. And, we, not so long ago, we had a lot of drama with beach volleyball and finding a location for them. And I, for one, am glad that I continue to kind of advocate for those guys with the school board, and they got their team, and look at they're second in the state of Florida. They got their facility there on campus now. So congratulations to all the Winter Haven High School teams, and also congratulations to, I think this is the last meeting before graduation. So congratulations to all the graduates of Winter Haven High School and Lake Region. That's all I've got.
Mr. Mayor, I got
Yes.
one thing I forgot, and I was going to make a suggestion that if we invite anybody here, we should invite the state champion barbecue team here and let them practice a little bit. Maybe feed everybody.
Barbecue?
Yeah, some barbecue and practice. But no, and I appreciate you saying that about I've been telling you all along about what a good tennis player we have down here, Ben Saltman. He signed with FSU, but he may go pro. He's really so good. He won singles and doubles as a junior, and he is like so good. So not that you guys are big tennis fans like I am, but you're gonna just keep an eye on him because he's gonna do something great. I really do think that. But my point is, and I'm really glad you brought this up, because I meant to bring this up the last time I talked about when I took the walk down on Lake Lulu. And this is an initiative that, Brittany, you can chime in, and all you communications experts. There is a organization, or there's an initiative that I'm a member of called 4Ocean, and I usually wear a bracelet. But every time we go to the ocean, the task is you're supposed to bring in 3 pieces of plastic. Every time you go to the ocean, you're supposed to bring in 3 pieces of plastic. And this organization has all kinds of creative ways to remind you to do that. And they make jewelry out of the plastic that people bring in. And I buy the jewelry. They make cups and they do things, but it's a really well-organized thing. And I was down walking around on Lake Lulu. I was telling you guys about it. And I was doing the same thing because I'm trained to pick up 3 pieces of plastic. Well, why don't we do something called For the Chain? And you can put QR codes where people drop in their boats. And what 4Ocean does, if you take a picture of yourself out on the ocean picking up bottles and send it in, they'll post it somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere it gets posted. But for people that are into that kind of Instagram stuff, I bet Katrina and you guys can come up with, and we just put those QR codes around the ramps and try to get people, hey, just pick up 5 pieces of trash, take a picture of yourself putting it in the garbage can or something stupid, and we'll put it on the website of some sort. I bet it would work. And if we just start trying to raise awareness of, and call it For the Chain or For Chain or something like that, just something creative to get people to think about picking up trash when they're out there. I picked up 20 pieces of trash just on that little walk I took because Lake Lulu is polluted. But if you're just out in a boat, and I got my kids in it, and my kids are grown now, but they still, every time we go, we got to get our 3 pieces of plastic whenever we go out in the Tampa Bay. So just something to consider, and I'm glad you brought that up because I really wanted to bring this up last time, and I forgot, and I almost forgot tonight. So you jogged my memory, but I think that would be something we could work on. So anyway, thank you. That's it.
If I could comment on that one, Mayor, when we did Clean It Up Winter Haven this year, we expanded that campaign. That we call it the Great Winter Haven Cleanup Now, and we folded in all the schools and encouraged them to go out and clean up around their campus, kind of in the same approach, and share with us photos. Brittany has a number of photos that those schools have sent in, and we asked residents to do the same thing, send those photos in, and we take their submittal as an entry for a prize in that process. We're trying to expand that constantly. How do we get more people involved in this? This can't just be about city employees taking a day to go out and pick up trash. Everybody needs to participate in it. And I think that we can find a way to expand that specifically for the lakes as well. So I appreciate that insight. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to add to what T. Michael had said, was we had almost 900 children from the local schools participate in the Great Winter Haven Cleanup this year in submitting bags of trash that they had collected from in front of their school areas. So many, though, that they asked for additional pickups on their dumpster services because they had filled those dumpsters more than their normal service, which we were excited about. But we've talked in length about how to expand this to our lakes, get our boaters to be picking up whenever they're out enjoying the chain. I love the idea of pick up 3 pieces when you're out and going. Yeah. I know that had kind of been shared of, instead of videoing it, grab it. And so looking for different ways to do that and promote that within the community. We've talked at length about, is that an art sculpture? That was something that was mentioned earlier today, is ways to display all that was collected. The goal would be to not have no litter. So we have no art sculpture to make. Yeah. But until we get to that point, how can we display the hard work of not only our team, but the community as well?
Through signage and other things, do we, in promoting no littering, or are we doing, because there's a lot of litter, in our city. It's a big problem.
It is, and we're trying to do, Brittany and her team are working with Keep Polk County Clean and Beautiful on adopt a roadway projects. The county has a pretty strong, robust program for that. We've got, I don't know how many hundreds of miles of roadway to be able to do adoptions on those, whether it's businesses or churches or nonprofits or individual families that will go out and help maintain that. Every bit of trash that we pick up, it keeps it from making its way into our lakes. And I think, we have educational signs within some of our stormwater parks that highlight where the trash comes from. What is the size of this watershed? When you walk through downtown Winter Haven and you see trash on the ground, people may just think it's just litter on the ground. Well, eventually that's going to make it to a storm drain and ultimately make its way to Lake Howard, or to Lake Eloise or Lake Elbert if it's to the other side of First Street there. So I think that continuing to do education, signage programs that highlight the significant impact that litter has and what simple things you can do to help curb that.
City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commission, and congratulations to LaTanya Harris on her achievement. It's very, very good. I have nothing else. Thank you.
City Manager?
Couple things, if I could, and I hate to keep you a little bit longer, but I just want to give you an update on a few items. So from the recent discussions during our strategic momentum session and also some things that are outlined in our strategic plan, a couple of meetings that I just wanted to make you aware of that have occurred. MJ and I met earlier today with representatives from Lakeland Area Mass Transit District or Winter Haven Area Transit to explore a local circulator route that would provide access to medical facilities within our community and shopping facilities and other key destinations that are part of our overall wellness. You may recall that was the number one issue that the medical panel shared with us that they thought the city could help them resolve, and that's the physical barriers to accessing medical services. So we're exploring that and what options there may be to help fund that within our CRAs as well as from the general fund as need be to see if that makes sense. I met met last week with a representative from Central Florida Healthcare, and again, just giving some more direction on how do we address the fluoride issue and the loss or the prohibition that's about to come forward through the state. If the governor signs the farm bill that includes the prohibition against adding anything to the water systems that is not water quality related. And we've got a couple thoughts on that they're exploring for me that really focus on education and awareness of what services are available and how residents can avail themselves to those, as well as working within the community to establish some mobile medical sites on a rotating basis, initially in a pilot program, and then securing a routine presence of those mobile units from Central Florida Healthcare at the Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center once it opens up. Again, to make that much more accessible, remove some of the maybe the fears and the concerns about pursuing medical services when it's right within your own community. It makes it a little more, remove some of those barriers. So that is underway. We also met last week with members of our team. One of our objectives within the strategic plan is about establishing a wellness committee. This, in my opinion, really comes down to having a wellness focus group or think tank that would include representatives from our major healthcare providers, as well as others such as the Peace River Foundation or the Peace River Center, Tri-County Services, the Mission, a number of other groups that work with our community on wellness issues to bring them together at least twice a year to share insights on what do they see are the major health concerns that we have within our community, what are the trends that they're seeing, and how do we collectively work across, whether it's corporate lines or nonprofit lines or government lines, to try and address those the best that we can. So we'll be reaching out to all those agencies in the coming month or so to identify an appropriate contact that will work with us on outreach services in that regard, and we'll report back. Last thing I wanted to share with you, you mentioned the Washington, D.C. trip, and I think that was a fantastic trip. I think it was very focused this year, and I think we went in with the right message, and I'm hopeful that we'll see the results and the fruits of that effort. With respect to the Fallen Officers Memorial that we were able to go to, in addition to Johnny Patterson, his name rubbing that we were able to get a copy of there. Also Gordon Stotes, who was a fallen officer from Winter Haven, who is memorialized there. This week, and Charlie, if I'm not mistaken, it will be on Thursday in Titusville. Friday on Titusville. And I think Vance, you and members of our team are going to be there. I mentioned a few times in the past that we have identified another fallen officer from Winter Haven, Sergeant Thomas, who I believe passed in the 60s, was it? What was it? 50s. In the 50s. This was an officer that had responded to a call, and during the process of an arrest or attempting to make an arrest, there was a physical altercation in which the officer ended up having a heart attack. And at that point in time, that wasn't classified or declared as a line of death duty. And staff has done the research and with members of his family have been able to pursue the recognition of Sergeant Thomas. He will be inducted into the Florida Fallen Officers Memorial this Friday in Titusville. And as I said, members of our team will be present for that. We anticipate that, and no reason really to not think that this would be the case, but that he will be added to the memorial in Washington, D.C., and that would occur in calendar year 26. So there are two processes to that, as I understand it. One is the actual etching of the name that will go on the wall that we were able to observe. And then in a short time thereafter will be the memorial service. So we have already begun looking at when our DC legislative effort will be in 2026 in an effort to try and be there for at least one of those ceremonies to honor and recognize Sergeant Thomas. So just wanted to pass that along. I think that's fairly significant. And the last thing I would add is that tomorrow is our dedication and ribbon cutting for Lake Conine Nature Park. That is, as I understand it, to start at 5:30 is our commencement time there. We're hoping the rain will cooperate, and I think we've provided you all the information and details via email on that. We expect our folks to begin arriving around 5 p.m. We're going to be shuttling from 2 locations because we do have limited parking there, and we expect a rather larger crowd. So I hope you can all make it to that tomorrow evening.
Michael. We do have parking allocated for you all. We plan to have that at the site at the park. So one of our teammates will be at the gate allowing you all in for parking. So I just wanted to let you know that as well.
Thank you. T. Michael, question. You mentioned that the fallen officer, that he has family that are still in the
Well, that's Vance, if you'd come forward and share the intel on that.
Yes, sir. He has I think a grandson that's still alive. So we made contact with him, and he's going to be trying to make some of these memorial services. And he was going to try to he was going to make an appearance this year at the Law Enforcement Memorial RP Funding Center just to see what it was like, but he was unable to do it this year. But we're in contact with him, and we're trying to get other family members, his some other relatives that he may have. We're still trying to identify them, but we do have him directly. I can't think of his name right now, but I can get it to you.
Curious. Though it's been so long ago, statute of limitations on things like that, officer that is, fallen in the line of duty, or benefits or anything that would have been available or should have been available even during that time?
I have to check on that because that's one thing I have a remembrance, honoring and remembrance committee that's in panel to look into, investigate all of those, if there's still any other services that are.
I mean, it's been a long time, but
It has been.
If he still has living relatives,
Yes.
that I don't know whether or not there would have been, or was he denied, the family denied anything as a result of that?
I don't believe they're denied. They were not denied anything. And just like T said, at the time, it wasn't classified.
Sure.
We did a proclamation here, actually, the day after, a couple of days after his death. But things have changed in the years, even with the Heart and Lung Act, to protect those who are fallen and the benefits they receive.
Right.
So we're going to look into that and verify if there is something that there's benefit that out there that he can receive, his next of kin. We're going to ensure that they get it.
It's great to get the recognition for the family.
Yes.
That's all I have this evening, sir. Thank you.
Deputy City Manager,
Nothing this evening, sir. Thanks.
City Clerk.
I just want to say congratulations to Latanya again and just let her know that I am very, very proud of her. She worked really hard.
Anything from you, Deputy City Clerk? Congratulations again. Nothing? All right. Emergency matters not received for the agenda. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.